Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video. My name is Nathan. I am a runner living in Seattle, and I'm currently training for a sub 130 half marathon in April in Eugene. As it is the new year, I wanted to take you guys through my honest 2026 running goals, as well as running a 10K time trial this morning to kind of test the waters, see where I'm at, see how I'm feeling, see if I'm even ready for this sub 130 goal. So without further ado, let's get into it. Of course, before the run, we do need to fuel ourselves and hydrate properly. So I'm going to be taking you guys through what I eat in a day. If you've seen the videos, of course, you guys are well aware. But if you are new here, I usually start my long runs or my weekend runs off with a good old banana. Can't go wrong with this thing. I don't know why I'm talking like it's some sort of foreign fruit. You guys know what the hell this thing is, but it does the job. I'll say that much. In addition to that, we have our medjool dates that I get from Costco. I'll usually stick to these during the weekdays, like just dates, no banana. But since it's a bit of a bigger effort on my weekend runs, I usually combine the two. So I usually go with about 3 dates. So just pop these back, really high sugar, carb content, and they get through your digestive system really quickly. So they're really good to eat before a run. And that's why I like them. And, you know, they taste pretty good too. And we'll hit a quick little trick shotty. I think that looks cool, but it's probably the most basic thing I've ever done in my life. And then to top that all off, we have our Element electrolytes. This is the watermelon salt flavor, my absolute favorite. Tastes like holy water, tastes like, man, I don't even know what else. It's so delicious, which is crazy because it's only 5 calories and it's just filled with really good electrolytes. Like a drink that is supposed to be this good for you should not taste this good. It should be illegal. So shout out to you, Element. Stay salty, my friends. So that's that core nutrition, hydration I have before almost every single run. And then, of course, if you know me, I like my tea. So we got this Bengal spice herbal tea. I usually have a sweet and spicy tea, but I ran out. So Amazon better get here quickly with that. But we got this in our Seattle mug, of course. Tastes solid. See you guys over on the chair for some tea talk. All right, folks, welcome to the living room for a dose of tea talk. And of course, by the title of this video, I'm going to be breaking down my 2026 running goals. But before I get into that, almost more importantly is the process of setting running goals. Not even just running goals, but goals in general. I wanted to kind of break down 3 things that I think are really important when you're setting running goals this year. One of those is clarity. You have to make sure your goals are specific enough and have enough direction. If you're just telling yourself, I want to get faster, I want to lose weight, I want to feel better, those are all great, but they lack specificity and they're just a little bit too vague for you to accomplish them because you don't have something, you know, that's measurable. If we're talking about someone like me, for example, I have that specific goal. It's a sub 1 hour, 30-minute half marathon. So when you're setting goals, make sure they are specific, they have direction, they're not vague, or else it's just gonna kind of be something floating around in the abyss and you're never gonna really know when it's achieved. All right, and number 2 is structure. This kind of relates to the idea of consistency and effort that you're putting into your training. You know, without a structured training plan, without a specific, routine you have, the number of days you run per week, the number of miles per run, the progressive overload that you're putting on your body with these runs, you're not going to be able to, achieve your goal because you don't have a plan to set out to do it. You're just going to be telling yourself, yeah, I'll run this many days, or I'll run when it feels good. And Sure, that's great. You can totally do that. But if you do have a goal set in mind and it's, a relatively intense goal, you are going to have to create a structured, detailed plan that you need to stick to. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but that idea of consistency, showing up, putting in the work is the most important thing when trying to accomplish any sort of, not even just running goal, but goal in life. So that's probably number two. And finally, number three is the idea of honesty. You have to be aware of where you're currently at as a runner. You can't just be comparing yourself to people online on social media. Don't be comparing yourself to me. Don't be comparing yourself to your friends. You have to have a good, true understanding of where you're at and your running abilities, or else you're going to set goals that are far too lofty. I'm someone who advocates to dream big, but at the same time, you have to give yourself a little bit of a reality check, or else you're going to do things in your training, in your life, that just will end up biting you in the back. You're going to be physically, mentally stressed out. And even if you do hit that PR, sometimes you're going to be like, was this risk worth, destroying these other parts of my life to get to? Because I wasn't honest with myself about how this fits my lifestyle needs, how this fits my current physical state as a runner, etc. So again, honesty is super important. You got to know where you are in the current moment, what is a sustainable long-term plan to get to that goal, and you'll have a much better chance of success in achieving that, both running and in life. All right, so to recap, what do we got? We got clarity, we got structure, and we have honesty. So make sure to implement those into your running goals this year, and I can guarantee that you will have a much better chance of getting to those goals that you set out. And I guess following after that, we can get into my running goals. Of course, if you've been watching the videos, you know that I am trying to run a sub 1 hour, 30-minute half marathon at the Eugene Half Marathon on April, I think it's the 26th, the last Sunday in April of this year. So we're about 3.5 months away. Dang, that seems really close. Wow. Okay. I'm definitely not ready for it right now. So I still need some training, and this 10K time trial today will be a good tester of that. But yeah, it's a goal that I set for myself. I started running basically when this channel started last April, and I set a goal for a sub 145 half marathon. I made a plan all by myself, stuck to my training every single week. I missed, maybe like a run here or two there just for life. But I mean, I was consistent regardless of that happening. And yeah, I achieved my goal. I surpassed it. I ran a 138, which I was really, really happy with. And I mean, I'm going to be implementing the same things the 3 pillars that I just talked about into this current training plan, which is just being consistent, knowing where I'm at, and, having that specific goal of that sub 130 half. So I'm not, 100% confident, 100% guaranteed I'm going to hit this goal. I think you should set goals that scare you a little bit, or else I don't know if it's truly worth setting. So yeah, again, I don't know if I'm going to hit it, but I am confident that if I stick to my training, if I, the nutrition I have is good, if I'm enjoying other parts of my life as well, I'm going to be happy regardless of the result. So that's all I really care about. Now, you guys are probably wondering if I have any other running goals besides this sub 130 half marathon. And I can't say I have anything set in stone. However, I am potentially wanting to do a full marathon later in the year, probably in the September or October timeframe, just because the weather here in the Northwest kind of gets crappy October and beyond. So I want to be able to run as much as I can when the weather's good. And it also is a good, 5-month block after the Eugene Half Marathon. So I think that would be a good time to train for that. And if we're talking about times, I did run some calculations through my Runna app, which is, I've told you guys about this, but it's an AI running coach. I have a 2-week free trial code, KES10, in the description down below. If you guys want to use it completely free, you don't have to, but I really like the app. I use it myself, so I would recommend it, but do what you wish. With that being said, I kind of plugged in I think it was a 1:30 or a 1:29 half marathon into my race time, starting at the end of the Eugene Half Marathon, and put in, I think it was a marathon in September or October, and it said my projected finish time would have been, I think, around 2:55, if I'm not mistaken, 2:55 to 2:58, something around those lines. So this isn't a guarantee or anything, and it's fully based off of this app that I'm using, but a sub 3-hour marathon later this year may be in the cards. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but that is a potential goal of mine. Depending on how this half marathon goes, that will likely be something that I am looking to train for. So that is very exciting. And then after that, probably just continuing to get faster. But yeah, that is kind of my spiel on how you guys can better set yourself up for success in running for 2026, as well as my running goals this year. And to better set myself up, I want to do a 10K time trial this morning. So I'm gonna finish this tee up, gonna enjoy the ambiance, and I will see you guys at the trail. Alrighty folks, we've officially made it to the trailhead, spicing it up a little bit today. We are at Green Lake in Seattle, one of the best running trails. It's pretty much a perfect 3-mile loop around the lake, so we're gonna be hitting that today. Of course, like I mentioned, we're doing a 10K time trial today. On my app, it says I'm not going 100% out, maybe around like the 85, 90% effort area. So I'm not gonna try to kill myself today, but I think I'm gonna give it a good effort. And if I'm feeling good, you know, the last like 2 miles, I might just kick it into high gear. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm feeling definitely a little more nervous and a little scared than I usually feel, just because this is kind of like a current test of my fitness right before I go on vacation the next 9 days to Guatemala. So I was kind of using this as like a little gauge of where I'm at right now. But yeah, we'll go see what happens. Of course, we got the Adios Pro 4s on feet. Absolutely delicious, sexy looking shoe, I have to say. I tried these out the other day just on like a short little tempo run, and they treated me well. So nothing bad to say about them. Hopefully they work out today. Give me a little extra speed and power and finesse. But yeah, running fit as per usual. Lulu half tights, this Nike waffle jacket I got, I don't know how long ago, like 6-7 years ago. White CLA running hat, and then these sunglasses from the brand Gooder. I don't know if I'm gonna wear them, just because it is low-key harder to see out of them when I put them on than when I don't have them. But if it gets really sunny, I'll put them on, because then it kind of sucks. So yeah, that's kind of the fit today. Of course, Coros Pace 3 watch on the wrist to track, hopefully, potentially, I don't know, a new PR, maybe, we'll see. But yeah, excited to get out there, and I don't know how much I'm gonna film, because I'm gonna be absolutely going as fast as I can. So hopefully I'll see you guys alive on the other side. All right, we are out on the warm-up. I'm thinking probably 3/4 of a mile is a good warm-up. And then Then we'll get into it. This will be fun. All right, here we go. Mile 1, 6:46. All right, that's mile 2, 6:59. Mile 3, 6:57. Mile 4, 6:45. Mile 5, 6:47. Mile 6, 6:46. Ladies and gentlemen, we did it. Mission successful. That is 10K done in 42:20, 6:49 average pace. If you told me that I was going to run that today, I'd smack you across the face. I am so happy with that. I'm so proud of that. After that first mile, I think I ran a 6:46. My Run app told me to run, I think, between a 7:10, 7:20 average pace. But after that first mile, whew, that adrenaline was cooking. I was feeling, I was vibing, and I did slow myself down just a little bit that second mile. But yeah, I felt like I had it in me. Definitely not the 85, 90% effort I said before. That was more like 95, 97% max effort. But you got to challenge yourself like this sometimes. It feels good to challenge yourself and come out on the other side. Man, that kind of ties into what I've been talking about with goals today. If you have clarity, structure, honesty, you're going to figure it out. Going to be consistent, and you put in the effort, you are going to see real progress just like this. I think last April, I probably would have ran the same 10K all out in maybe like a, I don't know, 8:15 average pace, 8:30 average pace. That's almost a minute and a half, 2 minutes off my 10K time per mile. That's like 12 to 13 minutes off in total in 8 months. That is wild. And that is just by being consistent and putting the time in, eating healthy, recovering, all while still having, like a personal life, hanging out with people, eating unhealthy food, going on vacation, doing all these different things. So make sure to set goals, and you will really see progress if you put in the time and the effort. I promise you that. So I am very happy with that one. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And if you guys have stuck along for the last 8 months, we're getting better. I hope you're getting better. And yeah, that's a big win today. So I'm happy about that. Gonna head home now and enjoy the fruits of my labor, AKA probably a ground turkey and rice bowl and some good old massage boots and Theragun on the couch. Gonna head home and do that, and not gonna lie, hoping the Strava pops off today. I don't care about it, but you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Damn, my feet hurt. Oh my God. All right, everybody, welcome back home. As you can see, I'm locked and loaded in my recovery boots. I did the massage gun right after I got out of the shower, and now I'm in these things. Rice is cooking, of course. We have a few playoff games. I think the NFL playoffs are starting today, so really excited about that. Gonna watch some good games, and then I have, oh Lord, I have volleyball later today. I don't know if my body's gonna hold up, but we're gonna do our best. But yeah, again, very, very happy about my performance, and yeah, I can't really say much else. It was a perfect day, and I am excited to continue to get better at running. It's such a fun sport where you can legitimately see yourself over time, of course, but you can see yourself get faster, and it's so rewarding. So that is one reason why I love this sport, is because you can see immediate performance, and you don't have to rely on a bunch of subjective metrics. I like the objectivity of it. But yeah, with that being said, I really appreciate if you guys have stuck around to the end of this video. As always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow my Strava if you would like to. Again, I have that code for a 2-week free trial of Runna in my description. You're welcome to use. And yeah, just make, or at least try to make 2026 the best year of your life, whether that's with running, whether that's with anything else in life. Make sure to set goals and follow through with them. Be consistent, put in the work, and you will reap a ton of benefits. So I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you in the next video.